what two animals or insects would you switch the sounds they make?
What?
So, what?
Or what two animals?
So like,
What two animals would you switch
so I could do like
the sounds they make? So like a pig would go moo, and a
like
cow would go oink.
a frog would go,
and a screaming goat would go ribbit. Yeah, something like that. Like what two things?
I would make a turkey scream like a fucking goat.
Instead of gobble gobble, it'd be a screaming goat.
Yes.
But then the screaming goat would be like
gobbling. Yeah, gobbling
Yes.
goats sounds funny too.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure. Gobbling goats, yeah.
Gobbling goats.
Okay, Nick, yours.
Ooh, this one's rough. I got a simple one. I'm going for class here. I'm going for speed. All right. I want a platypus to make the same sound.
But you don't see platypus.
Hold on. I knew you were going to interrupt me. I knew it. I seen it coming. Listen. Think of holding a platypus in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, you hear the same sound that peacocks make. And you're just holding it, and it's just.
But you wouldn't want to hold it because it's venomous. It has that little barb on its foot.
Yeah, don't be a cunt to a fucking thing, and it won't.
And they're like rare, so like it would be such a rare coincidence, like a rare occurrence.
All I'm saying is, I imagined a platypus going, "Oh, and I thought it was funny.
I mean,
listen, just saying. I think it'd be cute.
What?
I think it'd be cute.
I think it would be cute.
One of my all-time like top wants. If I ever got like a traditional genie in the lamp kind of situation, and not one of them fucked up ones where like it ends up killing everybody you love,
like a monkey's paw.
Well, no, like a monkey's paw, or like the djinn, the story of the djinn, like Wishmaster shit. No, I mean the blue guy. I mean this man. You know, okay. I've always wanted to wish for a talking dodo. I've wanted a companion to be a talking dodo bird.
Would it be dumb like a dodo was?
I don't care. I don't care.
Would it be like an intelligent dodo?
So like Doug from Up. Squirrel. Like
no,
Doug.
I mean I'd want to hold conversations with him and shit. But I'd want him to just like walk around with me and be my little companion thing. He could fly though.
Oh, okay.
It's a flying dodo bird that can talk. I don't even care if he's like kind of an asshole either.
They might be bringing the dodo back, I thought. Weren't they working on it? They're bringing the woolly mammoth back.
Trying, but I think they're missing part of the genome or whatever.
We'll have a woolly mammoth one real soon.
Because I can't. You're like not loud.
You're not loud.
I feel like I'm overly loud.
What?
So.
Quit fighting and touching each other, damn it.
He's not touching me. Get the fuck out of here.
And now it's on video too. Like,
why did you have to do that to me?
But now we can bring back the you owe me money if you touch me. See how?
Every time you touch me.
So you want to know what animals I would switch?
No, I want to talk.
What's your answer? That's a good one. She's had all time to think about the answer too.
That's true. All right, what's yours?
I've had days. So our oldest is obsessively in love with Virginia opossums, right?
Mm-hmm,
and I thought about it. And I was like, what if instead of the hiss, they made that purr sound? So
from
you would
like
just
a cat?
hold an opossum, and instead of going, it would just be like purr.
It would just be a cute little cuddly thing.
But then it would bite you, because the hiss sound is when it's going to attack you. And I just think it would be so funny to watch dumb people go, oh, it's purring. But no, that's its hiss.
Like, that's the warning. Well, then in that case, like, do a rattlesnake or something with, like, a fucking cow.
Oh my god, and
so
it
you're
goes
just you're walking through a fucking field, and it's like, and you're like, where the fuck? And you're dead.
Did you ever hear the one where somebody's like, "Oh, a rattlesnake can't bite you if you stop it from being able to make that noise.
Yeah.
You just grab it by the end of the tail."
I posted that meme.
Idiots.
Is that was the meme?
Yeah.
Yep. I saw that. Jesus.
I like posting stuff like that.
Mm.
The one where it's like, if it's hot outside, you
if it's
or
hot,
if
they're
you're
hot, yeah.
If you're hot, they are, and bring them in, and it's like a fucking rattlesnake
Crossing the cement road.
See, and like all the southern states, like Texas, Tennessee, anywhere where like the rattlesnakes are, I'm like, ooh, yeah, walking around with a shotgun and just blowing away a snake, and then just staying the fuck away from it, like, because their heads will bite you if it's like no, oh, rattlesnakes freak me out. So
they have like rattlesnake killing, like, events
sprees
down in Texas.
I wonder what a rattlesnake tastes like.
Ah, man, I bet it's good.
You can ask because it's
you
like
can
well
get
known.
snake.
Oh yeah.
I saw.
I
they
didn't
have
think
python.
it was a weird question. I was genuinely.
They have
wondering.
python at like the market district.
Oh yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Well, I know my boss's son has went to iguana shoots. And
Oh,
afterwards,
that's supposed to be real good eating.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting them squirrels soon. It's getting close to the time.
Oh,
we
boy.
actually have somebody tell us that they would get us a couple.
Oh boy! So the guns and gory squirrel.
I'm gonna fry them up. I might even make a video of me making them. Fry them up. We'll eat them. There will be hair and everything. Still. No.
Can we not?
Believe it or not,
70s style.
I actually am a very good cook.
I got yelled at the other day.
Why?
Because I never watched Alf as a kid.
Yeah.
So I just always thought that they were very open with his sexuality, and they were just like, yeah, Alf eats pussy. And it was just like, okay, so he goes down on chicks. That's fine. And I just always assumed that was the joke. And then I realized, she yelled at me because she was like, no, he eats cats. I was like, oh.
That's his preferred snack is cats.
See. Yeah, I mean, I agree with him, just in different verbiage.
Yeah, because if you go near a real cat, you get itchy.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
It's a euphemism.
Wait,
hold on.
What if Alf goes near pussy and gets real itchy?
What if he was allergic to cats? That would suck.
So does that mean he would eat like an actual vagina?
No, if he was allergic to vagina.
Wait, could Alf eat vagina? Because his face is shaped funny.
Like an anteater,
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's
Just
green and
slurp it
smells
up.
like pork?
Your mom's
Kermit's finger.
Oh.
Yeah. I love that one.
That's terrible.
Mm-hmm. This is Mark.
Oh, that is Mark? You're Mark? I'm Mark.
I'm Mark.
Wait, we're talking about this? Oh, okay. I guess I'm Mark.
And I'm Nick.
And I'm Z.
And this is the Guns and Gory podcast. You keep doing that shit.
What? Because we got fucking
like get it all out now. And then Guns
it's not the first time I got told that today, Mark. Get it all out now. Hey! Guns and Gory! See, we need to have more personal time with our audience.
So
Mark,
wait, Nick
3D
didn't
prints things.
Oh yeah, I do. I haven't used my 3D printer in a while because I was making a helmet, and it was like a what was it? The Mandalorian helmet, and it started printing, and it went for a good like 6 hours, and then it failed, and it's just sitting on the plate still. I'm like, fuck that thing. I'll get back to it. So nobody told you what we were talking about?
Nope.
Oh. Well, I mean, we've all been on bad dates, right?
Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, like, awkward first encounters with a love interest, however you want to put it. Some people don't go on dates, they hang out or whatever. But
Right.
So tonight we're going to talk about that stuff.
I don't have any good ones. I wish I had a good one. Yeah,
I have,
hindsight,
like,
I wish
maybe
I
one.
had better ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
First date, like, ours was just we went out to eat.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's usually a first date, right? You go out, you go eat or something, or whatever.
But there's some bad ones out there. Right?
Oh yeah, they even end in murder sometimes. But so I guess I can start with mine. So I met this girl on Tinder, and she seemed a little bossy and like kind of a know-it-all. But I was just like, whatever. Like, she was like real insistent on like hanging out with me, and I'm like, well, you could like come over and we could like order out or something, but like, I don't really like to go out a lot because I'm a fucking weirdo.
You're shut in.
Yeah. So.
But I mean in a good way.
She was like, okay, like, and so she came over. We ordered food and we watched movies, and she was kind of weird, but like nothing of note or anything. Just kind of bossy, and I like play bit her. I don't even know why. I just play bit her, and like, she was like, but like, still it was like nothing. But then I like told her later that I wasn't interested in pursuing more with her. And then she like starts berating me, tells me like she has a 220 IQ, and told me that I have mental disabilities and that I should go to a doctor. So the whole IQ thing, if you don't know, 120 is like genius level.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure how high Einstein's was, but it wasn't even like 200.
Yeah.
It was like 180 or something like that. But so she's like telling me like all of these things about myself and how my dogs have more control of my house than me, and like I don't know, it was like she just like started like being like real mean because I was like 160.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, well, if you have an IQ that high, then you know, you don't. Nobody does.
Current highest IQ record for the world.
Yeah.
Is between 225 and 230. It is a Chinese American mathematician who holds it at 230. And that's the highest.
I have text messages. I like screenshotted this. This woman actually believed that she has a 200 and I could do that. This woman believes she has a 220 IQ.
That's awesome.
Told me she has paperwork to prove it. And like all because I was just like, I'm sorry, like we can be friends. I would ask her to email
it to me. Like I mean, like if you have it, can you scan it and email?
I wasn't pressing it much at that point. Then I'd be like, I was just trying to desperately like stop any kind of communication with her.
Oh no!
And I had it was before like you can like now block numbers in your text messages. You couldn't do that then. Like it was like, you know, a few years ago. So like it was still not very common on phones.
So
it was
fun
terrible.
Fact about IQs.
What?
So highest IQ in the world record was 228. But that was in 1989.
Yeah.
They discontinued IQ scores in 1990 because they're too unreliable. Which means IQ scores mean jack shit.
And they've met at our entire lives. That's pretty cool.
Well, she had a 220, and then she like so she got me banned from Tinder. I don't know how. I guess she probably told him I was like physically aggressive with her.
I went to his house and I saw him try to eat a cat.
And then whenever I was like, you know, making her look like an idiot because I'm like able to actually like put up an argument to a person trying to tell me they have that high of an IQ. And she threatened to call the cops. If I ever contact her... No, she said, I contacted the cops. Look in the mail for the paperwork. Don't ever contact me again. This bitch didn't know my fucking address. This bitch didn't know anything about me other than, like, my name. Like, I know, like, oh, okay. But, yeah, so that's, like, my...
I called the police and I told them about you.
Like, the worst...
Told them about you. They're going to send you a paper.
That's like my worst date horror story. And it's not even that bad. Like, it's not that bad.
Do we even call that a date?
I guess not. It was like a hangout. I didn't get physical with her or anything. I didn't even cuddle with this chick. So the way my couch is I have like a little thing in between two of the chairs on the love seat or the couch part,
So it's like
and then it
cup
wraps
holders or
around like
something?
this one. Yeah.
Okay.
So I always sit on the one side so that nobody else can like touch me because
You're a weirdo.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of weird and I don't always like being touched. See, this is the thing though. My girlfriend, she can touch me anytime she wants. My daughter, she could touch me anytime she wants. Nick touches me and my skin just jumps off of my fucking body. But listen, you're not nearly as bad as like other people. Like some people I work with, if they touch me, I would like just go burn myself.
Yeah, no. I'm like right under. I'm just not. I'm not allowed.
Yeah.
But it's not completely frowned upon when I do it.
I could read a couple stories, or do you have anything remotely?
No,
You never had any dating horror stories, or like, what the?
I have dates
Don't
I
lie,
regret
motherfucker.
Going on and shit
No,
like
I
that.
have
But nothing
No
that
lies.
I had weird dates here and there where it was
Mhm.
just like the random girl that I met and just went to the movies with her and that was it. And it was like, and it was fun. Like I actually had a good time, but never talked to him again. Like it was just that was that.
I guess
But I've never had any bad experiences. Well,
there's a well. Let's hear it.
hold on. Let me think if it was actually weird or if I'm just thinking about it in a weird way now.
Let's say it, and if we need to, I can cut it out.
Nah, it's not. It wasn't weird. Yeah.
Oh,
really
you're
wasn't
such
weird.
a bitch. All right.
It felt weird. All it was
What
I
about
went,
anything
I went
like
to a girl's house in the middle of the night? Like it was like really late, and I don't know. There wasn't anything sexual about it or anything like that. Like so, it felt like the memory of it is weird because it was like I can't allow that late.
So now I have a question, and I'm the one who came up with this topic, but now I have a question. So, do we want to talk about? Is it with just first dates that we're talking about tonight? Or can we talk about like dates that happen during a relationship? Because I have some fucking wild ones of those.
Nah, just the first ones. The first ones being weird is something.
But I do want to. There's a couple honorable mention ones. Though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have two stories now that I want to tell.
Boy.
So the one, my girlfriend told me this one. And she'd been in a
I
relationship
gotcha. I didn't understand you.
for a little bit
Yeah.
with this guy. So she was in a relationship with this guy for a minute. I guess she was there with him for a while. They lived together, and they had like the old houses with like the key locks that you can like peek through. And he was in the bathroom, and he was in there for a really long time. So she was like curious, like what's going on here. And she told me that she put her eye up to the keyhole and looks in, and he had stripped down completely naked to take a poop. Which isn't really that weird. Yeah. But then she saw him wipe his ass, bring the toilet paper up to his fucking face, and sniff it.
Ugh.
I think that would be a relationship ender for me. Like,
how do you end that though? Like, would you have knocked on the door and been like, "Hey, I'm out"? Like,
oh man.
Like, how do you engage that?
Wait, you said they lived together?
Yes.
That's a hard exit.
Yeah, that is a hard exit.
Listen, I would pull out my phone. I'd be like, all right, apartments for rent. Let's go.
She said she never said a word about it. And now I'm saying it on a podcast.
See, and just so everybody knows, with poor Aziza here, we have one of those open door policies in our house. Everybody wants to talk about the weirdness. So basically, it's so that what we can yell at everybody else in the house while still in the bathroom. So the bathroom door's just open.
Yeah.
No.
I'm kidding.
It's more like we have 4 fucking kids.
Do you sniff your shit?
No, I don't sniff my shit. But it's a
good.
weird thing, and I wanted everybody to know it. So in case it got out.
If you sniff your shit.
No, I don't sniff.
That's weird. That is really weird.
No.
Well, I've heard the stories of all the dudes that are like, they have weird bathroom things. Like,
yeah.
I didn't like the water splashing on
my
my butt,
stick.
so they put toilet paper in their hand and then pooped onto that and then dropped it in the toilet.
I've heard of like poop sticks. I don't know if that's a real thing or not. But yeah.
I like the one where it's how you wipe your ass with one square of of toilet paper.
What? Oh God! What? How would you even do that?
I feel like this is deserving of a prop. How
Oh,
close
God.
is the? Yeah, no, we won't. I won't go that far into it. But you take a sheet of toilet paper, and you fold it in fours. And that corner that is the middle of it, you rip that corner
Oh, that's
off,
weird.
and you set that to the side. Okay.
So it's like that underwear, front, back, inside out, front, inside out, backwards.
No, you're thinking you're much more simple than that. So when you unfold it back out, you have a hole in the middle. And you take that and you and you put the toilet paper over your finger, and then you use your finger and you wipe all of the shit off your finger, and then you wipe. You use the toilet paper to wipe off your finger as you're pulling off. And then, hold on, it's not done.
Oh.
I've never done this. I'm not.
Oh, you seem to know a lot.
But this is this fucking thing. And then, remember that little part that we ripped off? Remember I said we saved it for later? You take that to clean under your nail.
Oh, what?
This first time I ever heard that, I was like, oh, that's so nasty.
Ew, why?
It was like one of those fucking joke things, like, oh, I heard that we learned that in the army or some shit like that. I heard from somebody else or some.
Do you think people like actually done it?
Oh, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Somebody just thought, like, you know what? That's not that bad of an idea.
If
I'm
you
gonna
do
give it a
that,
try.
you are also a fucking weirdo.
I do remember the first time that I shit like in the woods when we were on the camping trip.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, it was the very first time we went, and it was the time where I was getting into the kayak, and I realized, oh, Fat Nick has never been in a kayak before. And I kept going over, but remember, I didn't care because the person that was with me, I didn't like him, so I was like, screw it. And then Mark had to go with one of the adults from the group.
Because I didn't know how to behave myself.
Yeah, oh yeah. We were always
Surprise.
very scrutinized. But so he...
I was a good kid. I don't know what the fuck, like...
Anyhow, so we stop, and I'm like tired because I'm like, wow, this is fun. Like I was having fun, but it was like halfway through the day, and we
Is that the
kayaked
same
miles.
trip that I jumped off the rock?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've talked about that briefly, but
The silhouette of Mark's peep. Anyway, so I'm like out in the woods, and I'm like,
you know what? I
This is
stopped
the first
wearing
time-
whitey tighties after
that. Good. It was a good choice. It was a.
Mhm.
So I'm walking away from the group because I'm like, yep, I gotta poop. It's gonna happen. I had my toilet paper. I had all this, and then I had to like walk through and figure out like what can I lean against or something. So I ended up finding like a tree that fell down. I like hung my butt off the side and stuff. Was all happy about it. But like, it was a wondrous journey. But boy, oh boy, I was like concerned about like splinters and things in places.
What?
Like, oh yeah, it was weird. It was because it was a really weird broken down tree.
Oh,
So
I
it's
can't
like,
believe that's the first time you like pooped in the woods.
That was the first time I. Well, no, okay, hold on. I want to be fair. That's the first time I pooped in the middle of nowhere in the woods. That wasn't like in the woods near town.
You want to hear something
out of
crazy?
desperation and shitting and then going home and wiping my ass immediately. That happened. That's when you live halfway between town and the woods and they're right there in the river and all that, like you shit down there. That happens every now and again.
One of the individuals that I've worked with got caught shitting in an alley, and the guy came over and knocked on the door and was like, "If this ever happens again, I'm calling the cops." And we were like, "Do it."
Right? You kind of like, please do
Like-
that. Yes. Like don't bluff that.
Like, this is like an old man shitting in alleys.
Call him now. Shit.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
was-
saw him do it.
If I was there, I would have been like, "Please do." Like, I'm not allowed, but
So what my first job ever was at Burger King. And I remember watching the one managers were watching it. It happened just before I got there, right after school. So somebody like was running through the side door, and they were holding it, pinching it, and the whole way they're just dropping little
Dude.
piles of shit. They blew up the bathroom, the men's room, and the funny part is that like if I started telling you all the people that work there and were coming in to work on that shift, you'd slowly realize, oh, those are not the people that cleaned up the shit that day.
Oh,
it
man.
ended up being a manager that she was like, she just bit the bullet because she was like, nobody else is gonna do it. Nobody else gets paid enough to clean up the amount of shit. No, she was younger.
I know the tiny manager.
She's like just a few
One of the
years
younger
older
ones.
than us.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. And she was just like, I am the only one that gets paid enough here to clean up that amount of shit.
That reminds
we were all
me-
like, yeah.
That reminds me of a story that I've done, but I didn't like shit myself.
Yeah.
I used to work out in Leesdale at the meat processing plant. I know you remember that. So it was like
This
maybe
is
20 minutes from my house.
This is a fake story.
No.
He made this for the podcast.
No,
This is when Mark was a man.
I wish.
He had a prostitute gun. It was a little that Jimenez.
Yep.
See, you guys we're exposing Mark. That lady was right. He is mentally. He's not.
I'm very
There's
delusional.
nothing special about him. It's kind of like that movie, Identity. No, the fucking John Cusack movie, where the guy has all the whole horror
Fidelity?
movie going on. No,
Oh,
he has a whole horror movie going on in his head.
I don't know.
Yep, that's what it is.
Anyways, I
Maybe
had to
it'll-
poop really bad.
Yeah.
And I was like going like 80 miles on a like 65, 60. And then like there was a get-go on the way home. And I flew into the parking lot. I left my car running, my door open, and I just ran and I barely made it. Just shit my fucking brains out, pouring fucking sweat, like, clenching, like, and then I came out and I looked
So you
around
lift off the toilet.
and I realized that my car was still running and the door was open, and I'm like, fuck! And I just kind of put my head down and walked ashamed out of the building and went home. I had to go. It was so hard. I was like having contractions, like I was having a baby or some shit.
I have favorite places to poop.
Favorite places.
I have favorite places to poop. My top 2 favorite places to poop of all time have been in the Beaver Valley Mall, specifically in Boscov's.
Yeah.
I used to think that their hand soap when I worked at the mall smelled wonderful, and so that memory haunts my head because I've never smelled. I don't fucking go to Boscov's anymore, so like I don't go to that mall. Nobody goes to that mall anymore. So like, but I did. I went there when I worked there. So that one has a really good spot in my memory. The other one is the toilet at Tactical Response down in Camden, Tennessee, because there's a holster. You take your gun out and you put it in the thing, and it's just like I've never felt like more of a king.
Yeah.
And then that building used to be like a plumbing building thing, and like that's what's in the front part of like the main highway where Tactical Response is located at, and so you know the plumbing's good, so it can handle any shit. Like I'm sure there's been trainees there that have clogged that fucking toilet, no doubt, because
fucking size of a Chipotle burrito.
Hearty
the
meat
men and
diet.
women, the men and women that train at Tactical Response, are there's all shapes and sizes.
Oh yeah.
And I assure you, like I can clog me a regular toilet, if the day's right, but you just go in there and they have like little signs. It's just shit. You could read it like the same thing over and over again. It's still entertaining.
Yeah.
Yep, those are my 2 favorite. And you would think it would be like somewhere exotic.
My favorite? Well, it wasn't my favorite, but I spent a lot of time in it. In the family bathroom of Walmart. Like I'd bring like spray and I'd go in and I'd lock the door and spray off the toilet and wipe it off because people are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And like wipe the toilet down and then sit there and just chill for like 45 minutes. They'd be like, Mark, where'd you go? I'm like, oh, sorry, I had to go to the bathroom.
Tackling a code, Brown. I did that in high school. 100%. Like people think I do it now, and I'm like, no, I just shit for a really long time. I don't want to blow out an O-ring.
Yeah.
But in high school, I used to go and skip out of class, and I would go and play Tetris. But the problem was I was only trying to beat my own high score. So I mean, essentially, it was the same as jerking off.
Oh.
If you think about like what would have been worse, I'm trying to beat my own high score. wasting all this time not being
Your
in class.
high score being
Or I could have been
off.
jerking off. Which one? I think they're equal. I think they're equally shocking.
Were you jerking off at school, Nick?
No, I'm not one of those kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I never got that
can you
bored.
just not
I never
get-
even like did it at college when I was like there for hours and hours
Yeah.
and hours on end.
Go in the bathroom,
In the bathroom
and crank one out.
No, I wasn't one of those guys. It was just weird for me. I need to be more comfortable. I'm not one of those like I don't do a ceremony or nothing about it neither. Like that's weird.
Yeah, you
Like
gotta
the guys that get like
light some candles and
Yeah.
fucking
They
pull
need
out
their
the
mood
black
lighting,
book and
mood book.
say
I don't
something
need to
to the
serenade
Dark Lord.
myself. Yeah. To like what did Seth Rogen say in Zack and
I
Mary
don't
Make a
fucking
Porno?
know.
He's like, no, I'd jerk off like a filthy MacGyver. Give me 2 popsicle sticks and a rubber band, and I'll find a way to fuck it like a filthy MacGyver. Yeah, that's it. I love that movie.
I think we've gotten a little off topic.
A little bit.
So I'm gonna tell this other story of a true story for me. So we were in a relationship for a little bit, but so the setting is what was it? It wasn't mayhem, and it wasn't like it was a concert.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was mayhem. Asking Alexandria was there, and I was like real big into them at the time, and like that was all I wanted to see all day. So me and the girl I was dating at the time went, and she drank a lot in the parking lot and then inside.
That's a weird noise.
What'd you do?
Don't know.
Is it your phone, maybe?
I got my doubts about it.
What?
I think it's gone. All right, just try not to move. So,
Hold perfectly still.
oh, we had like a weird feedback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like,
Oh, yeah, you
is
don't
it
have
Kuma snoring?
No,
Like,
no.
what do you hear?
So, anyways, we go into the concert, and she drinks more. She drank a lot that day. And it was, you have the morning bands, and like she was like, "Hey, you want to go meet the band?" I'm like, I don't think it works like that, because you got to get like meet and greets and stuff like that nowadays. And she's like, "No, come on, follow me," and I'm like, "Dude, it's not gonna work that way." And she's like trying to go to the stage, like she was gonna. I don't even know what she was gonna do. I'm like, no, like seriously, it's not gonna work the way you think it is. Like, let's just go watch this next band. Like, Asking Alexandria is coming on in a couple sets. Like, let's just go. I don't care to meet people, because I don't care to meet people. Like, I'm not one of those ones that goes out and gets autographs and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter that much to me. I don't want to know the person behind the music, because that it just will completely destroy my image of them.
Right.
You know, because you like kind of idolize these people, and then you meet them, and you're like,
just
"Oh,
can I
you're
just
a
like
fucked
their
up
music,
human." Yeah,
please?
yeah.
Can I just like their music? Yeah.
And so she got like real mad, and she started screaming at me, and like it was like real muddy, and she was wearing like white shorts. You know where I'm going with that. So she's like screaming at me and like following, like, we're like, I'm trying to like keep her calm, and she's like freaking out, cussing, like whatever.
Oh,
and we go over the hill, and Asking Alexandria was setting up when we first started, and I'm just like, please just calm down, and like she's like, fuck you, like I'm like, I'm fucking done, like I'm calling my mom, and she's like, no, fuck you. And then she's like slides. So this is how I remember it. I'm trying to pay attention to Asking Alexandria, who started over here, and in front of me she's falling down a muddy ass hill and screaming and crying like a big child. Like kicking her legs and feet. And I'm like, okay, fine. Can we please just go home? Like, let's just go home. Let's just go home. And she's like, no, we're gonna watch. I'm like, no, seriously, we are going home. So I walk out. I just leave and go towards the car. And she follows me. And I didn't have a license at the time. So, like...
All I see... Wait, was it raining?
Yeah. It was rainy.
Oh, okay. Because all I see is a damp you, but not dirty.
No,
getting
I wasn't
followed
really...
by a girl just covered in mud.
Yep,
like
pretty much.
Completely brown
Pretty
from
much.
head to toe.
Yep. So, like... I also had my gun in the car. So like we get in the car. She won't let me drive because I don't have my license. She's drunk. I'm trying to say, like, can we please just stay here for a while?
Mm-hmm.
Just hang out in the car and whatever. She's like, no. So she starts driving. And
boy,
we're going down, like, back roads. You know what it's like to go to Star Lake from here.
Yep.
And she's screaming at me, driving, like, 90 miles an hour down these windy-ass roads. And screaming that she's gonna fucking call the cops and tell them that I threatened her with my gun. And like, I'm like sitting there with my hand on the e-brake, like ready to just fucking pull it. Because like we were going like super fast. I thought I was going to fucking die.
Yep.
And like, I don't know how, but I made it home.
I made it home.
And I did not break up with her.
You're so dumb.
Yeah.
Oh my god, why are you men so fucking stupid?
I see.
Oh my god. Dumb.
Was the
fucking
sex
men.
good?
No.
Oh, wow.
Idiot.
Yeah, see? I'm on her side now. Yeah, see? Mm-mm. I would have taken some pictures of her covered in mud, though.
I know I should have.
Yeah.
She was a dumb bitch,
Oh,
though.
listen. The whole
just
her
wanted to
kicking
remember
and
it.
screaming.
Yeah. Oh
On
man,
the
no,
thing,
like,
I would have just looked at her and then just walked
dude, I'm
the other
seriously
way.
like,
walk towards the
like,
stage.
kind of like keeping like, I'm like trying to split. Like, I was seriously trying to watch them. Like, I know that sounds inconsiderate, but like, I was just
No,
like,
fuck that bitch. She's throwing a tantrum.
and I didn't get to
'Cause she's
finish
just
seeing them, and I didn't get to
Cunt.
see the other bands that were going to be there that night, and it was like bands I really wanted to see.
Yeah,
I was
see,
really
should've
upset
just-
about it. I know.
You should have just
I
let
know.
her throw a tantrum, not said anything, and then just be
Yep.
like, I gotta go to the bathroom, I'll be back. And then just gone and fucking gone
But
down
I-
to the front of the stage and watched your fucking band.
I
Man,
mean,
she wouldn't have
probably.
found you.
Yeah, but I'm a nice guy.
And
like,
you should have also had the keys if she was fucking pre-gaming to begin with. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
I have the pockets,
Wait,
babe.
she
Let me
wouldn't
hold
let
the
me.
keys.
Why didn't you have the keys in your pocket?
she wouldn't let me.
That's weird.
Hold
Where
the
did she
keys like
have the
when you got
keys?
there?
She had
Where
them
was
the
she
whole
hiding the
time.
keys?
She had them the whole
Were
time.
they in her pocket?
What, did she
Yeah,
have a
or
purse?
in her purse.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Who
that
brings
was when
a
you
purse
could,
to a
that's when you
concert?
could take a purse.
Her,
to a
I don't know.
concert.
She
Fucking
had
weirdos.
fucking alcohol in it.
Oh, yeah.
She drank a lot, but she was an asshole even without drinking.
Dusty's Dildo Antique Emporium for the elderly. If it was made before 1989, we don't have it. Is Grandma having a hard time reaching the perfect spot? Try our Randy Reach Around. Is Pappy upset going in dry? Well, not anymore. Our moisturizing lubrication will do the job. You can also use it on your car. Stop on by and use the discount code Big Daddy Dong to get 25% off your first order. I look like a girl for once.
Oh.
You know what, bitch?
So,
Throw me your beef
Do
jerky.
you have any horror stories that? Oh wait,
Hold on.
eat your beef jerky first, bro. Do you have any? No.
So, like, not really, because, like,
The fuck? Why am
I
I the
went
only
on-
person that dates
So-
I went
psychos?
on
'Cause I don't
vacation with a
really
girl once
date.
that forgot all
fine, I
of
won't
her
ask you
own
that.
shit.
you shut your whore fucking mouth, you dumb cunt. You forgot me and your lovely daughter's clothes. I go, Nick, the only thing you need to do when you get out of the shower and get dressed is grab this massively heavy bag, please, and put it in the car. Okay, Aziza, I got it. I'll take care of it.
So you're
I
her-
packed everything else. Everything else.
So
His stuff included. And he didn't have the decency to grab one bag that had me and Ella's stuff in
Yeah, I
it.
grabbed everything else but that bag.
So you're her bad dating story.
Yeah.
We got, listen,
We got to like.
we get
what,
halfway to Georgia.
Virginia?
Halfway to Georgia from Pennsylvania. Kuma, move your fat ass away from the camera. Thank you.
Ooh.
Making shit
Oh
wiggle.
my Cam. She's mean today.
We get halfway to Georgia. I'm doing most of the driving.
That's not true. She's fibbing.
And I get out of
She's
the
fibbing.
car.
No, I got out of
because-
the car because I pulled over because I was driving.
Uh-huh.
because that was when she realized, and we were like, "Oh shit, is this vacation ruined?" And then we started like thinking about everything that was in the bag, and I was like, "Well, it's just wait a minute, it's just Aziz's clothes, it's just Ella's clothes. That was it. All the swimming stuff was in another bag. All of like the other activities. So all we had to do was go to Walmart and grab a couple outfits. We were only going for a couple days.
You ruined vacation.
I didn't ruin vacation, but we still had to pull over and decide
I'm uncomfortable.
what we were going to do.
Y'all are scaring me. Please don't fight mommy and daddy.
She's mean, yeah.
I'm not mean.
Please don't fight.
You're ridiculous.
Please
and this
don't
is why I
fight.
don't allow you to pack anything ever again because I can't trust
but here's
you.
the deal. Here's the deal. This is what I think's funny. She's mad about it because
you never apologized. You never apologized.
I've apologized for that.
No, you haven't.
That's a fib. See, you misremember things, making me sound like the monster. I'm just an idiot. I'm not a monster. Hold on now, because listen, here's the deal. Nowadays, back then, she was very simple. All she needed was the clothing and stuff like that. Nowadays, Miss Ziza of the Lake, if she forgot her bag, there's the special stuff that her contacts goes in. There's her special shampoo. There's her special lotion that she has to have.
I know
The shampoo and lotion is the stuff that you use too.
If she forgets her shit now, that would ruin the vacation. Back then, not that big of a deal. Now, oh my god.
At least she cares about her hygiene.
Yeah. I just know that there's toothbrushes everywhere.
Oh shit! All right.
Mm-hmm. I don't usually forget my toothbrush. I forget socks. The first time I ever drove all the way to Georgia, I forgot socks.
Man,
so, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm always scared I'm gonna forget stuff, so I just.
You ever pack by accident?
Sort of.
Yeah.
I just make sure I have everything.
Too. That's what you are. You look like the You look like the villain from Inspector Gadget.
Let's not fight, mommy and daddy.
She'll throw the chihuahua at me. It
So
wouldn't even hurt. Oh boy.
There's this website I like called A Bad Case of the Dates. Okay, and it has like these dating horror stories. Kind of like I guess what I said. So here we're gonna read this one. I'll give credit.
Don't you text me trying to be cute.
My worst date ever. Willa liked blues dancing, playing her guitar, and had a great sense of humor. Most of our time together thus far had been pleasant. When the early February came around, Willa and I had been together for about 2.5 months. We thought it would be nice to take a weekend trip up to New Hampshire and Vermont. We'd visit small towns, maybe stay at a B&B, maybe go on a winter hike, and simply enjoy New England winter. Willa parked her car at where I was living in Boston, and we took off together in my car. Something you ought to know about Willa was that she had previously told me that she had assaulted a police officer and had been to court as a result, so perhaps I should have heeded the screamingly stentorian warning bell. But I didn't. That first day, we stopped at Walden Pond, then drove up to Brattleboro, Vermont. We enjoyed the town, visited a coffee shop and a local art museum. Then we headed north. We stayed overnight at a cozy hotel. Crazy.
Freudian slip.
We stayed overnight in a cozy hotel, and the next day we had planned to explore northern Vermont. We picked out a park and made for it, thinking that it would be fun to go on a hike for as long as we could, then find a little mom and pop cafe to warm ourselves by the fire. See, now I want to know why there hasn't been sex in it yet.
I mean, maybe he's just being a gentleman and not like.
Maybe. All right.
I'm digging the journey so far. Like it seems like it's been a pretty laid back trip. Like,
plus that's a lot of driving. Like even from Boston up there, like that's a little bit of drive. Yeah.
My car had plenty of gas and heat, so we made for the park in good spirits. But we couldn't find the park entrance. Up and down the road we drove, but the park entrance simply eluded us. It had to be somewhere, so I kept exploring around the local roads. As for Willa, she became increasingly agitated. "Where is it?" she asked. How come we haven't found it yet? Those questions didn't help me find it any faster, so I kept driving. Willa sighed and said, if I was driving, we would have found it by now. How come you haven't found it? Where is it? This is ridiculous. I turned to her and said, you're stressing me out a bit. Here, we'll find it. Stressing. You don't ever tell a woman they're stressed. Oh, fuck. I replied, a little, yeah, but I'm sure we'll find a place. Well, who the fuck do you think you are? I'm stressing you out. I'm stressing you out. Who the fuck do you think you are? How dare you fucking say that to me, you fucking piece of shit? Now she was stressing me out a bit more, but I opted not to say anything about that.
Said that. I would definitely said, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it like that.
The intrusive thoughts win.
Yep.
I just wanted to find the park and hopefully go on our hike and enjoy what I could of my time with the increasingly psychotic basket case. She continued, how dare you fucking say I'm stressing you out? You are a fucking asshole. No wonder you run a bad date site. They're probably all about you. Fucking garbage. Fuck you, asshole. Fuck you. Surprise, we found the park. I pulled into the parking lot. We were the only car there. I parked and asked Willa, would you like to go for a hike? She pulled out a book and said, fuck you. I'm going to stay here and read, fucking asshole. I'm stressing you out, piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. Honestly, she kind of, you don't tell a woman you're stressing. Oh my.
Yeah, you do. If she's stressing you the fuck out.
People don't react very well to saying you're stressing me out, though.
Although, why is he driving?
I don't.
Oh, wait, it's his car, right?
It's a user submitted
still, why
story.
Why is he driving, Nick?
Huh?
That's weird.
Yeah.
I drive everywhere.
He's
even
a passenger princess.
Even my girlfriend's vehicle, I'll drive.
Yeah, he's a passenger princess.
Oh, what a fucking dick!
And when he can
You're
sit
a
in
bad
the back,
date, Nick.
when he can sit in the backpack, he'll
No,
sit
the
in
kids love that when I let them sit in the
No.
front seat, that I get to sit all the way in the back, because then I get the kids' perspective. I didn't go on fucking. Listen, you're mean. You're mean. You're a mean little girl. Because I didn't get to go on. You got road trips all over the place. I got to go on 2 coach buses and a bunch of planes. That's it. I didn't so when we drive all the kids around. That perspective of being stuck in the back of the car, I'm like, oh, that's fun.
I'm scared again.
You should be scared again. No, I hate it. All right, listen, I got a funny story about being a spoiled brat on the fucking coach buses. So you know how the buses used to have VHS tapes and screens?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did. They used to. So I had a bus that was going from Pittsburgh to Atlantic City and back. And on the way back, I found X-Men, the animated series, Volume 2. I had Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my grandfather were all excited because we found Volume 2. Well, my grandfather wheeled and dealed with the guy that was driving the bus and was like, can we put this on for my grandson? And the dude turned it down so it was just that part of the bus. And so it wasn't playing on all the other screens, just the one that was in front of me. And so it was funny as hell because my grandfather basically got all these older people. Think about it, Pittsburgh to Atlantic City. Who's on that bus? Old people.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s. They were going there to gamble and stuff.
Yep,
and I was the only kid on the bus. So I'm sitting there watching X-Men, and then all the other old men behind us start talking about it. Oh, I remember the X-Men. I just start hearing them talking, and I was sitting there this is pretty cool. So I got that experience, but that's it. So sitting in the back of any vehicle and watch it, when we went to Texas,
didn't watch anything. You read a book.
Well, yeah, but when we drove to Texas, me and Ella sat in the back the whole time, and we kept making up shit because we had to get there as fast. So I had more fun entertaining Ella and entertaining the kids and keeping the kids from eating each other. So I feel that's where I'm more useful rather than navigation wise. But she's good for the distance. Anytime we go somewhere, she's also cutting me off at my knees, because anytime we go somewhere like a big city, then I drive because I know.
Yeah, he has to drive in the city. I can't drive in city.
She just does the long hauls. So time wise, she's got a lot more time in. But when it comes to
Yeah.
Like the
Like
more,
I'm the
like,
distance. He's the traffic.
Yeah.
I don't do like
It's
when we go to
stressful for you.
California.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I freak
Mhm.
out.
That's
Like
where
I
I'm good
like
with
that's where
both.
my superpowers
like my
lie.
like and like it's not internal. It's all internal freak out. Like I don't
Yeah.
externally freak out.
But
So
inside
like
you're like, oh fuck.
That's
so
when
like
she's the
long haul
passenger
driving,
princess.
I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm relaxed. I get my cruise. I get my everything. Second we enter a city, like my back just it's instant agony because I'm tense. And I get like real bad migraines that just creep up right back here if you make me drive in the city for too long.
Oh.
And I don't mind driving at night, like unless it's overnight.
Yeah.
So like when we went to we flew out to California, then drove from California to Vegas and back. And she drove on the way out and I drove on the way back. But that was a fun adventure because that's when we stopped and at one of like the old gas stations where there's just graffiti everywhere and
Yeah.
everything's pulled out. Like
Fear
there's
and
no
Loathing
window.
Las Vegas style.
Yeah,
It was
no
great.
windows, no nothing. And we stopped there, we peed. And I was like, yeah, this is where we get like involved in some kind of horror story in the middle of the desert.
Children of the Corn style.
And then the next thing that came up on the road was the stop to go to the bathroom. That's when the girls went.
Yeah.
It was creepy as shit because it's just this big, like, it almost looks like a big lodge that they built in the middle of the desert, and it's covered in spikes because they don't want every fucking bird in the area to come there and shit on it all the time. But they still kind of do. They find like every little spot. But oh my gosh, it was real weird. This spiky lodge in the middle of the fucking desert to go pee at.
Can I continue?
You may.
Okay, so should I turn the car off and allow her to sit in the cold, or should I leave it on so she could stay warm? Seeing as leaving it on would require me to leaving the key with a psychologically deteriorating nut job, I opted to turn the car off and take the key with me. I went on a brief hike, maybe 15 minutes tops. It was my hope that when I returned to the car, Willow would have clicked her temper down from 11 to anything less than 11, but that didn't happen. No, indeed. In fact, Willa had clicked it up to 12. She greeted me with, "Drop me off the gas station. I don't even want to fucking be with you anymore. I'm fucking stressing you out. We'll fucking see who stresses who out." This is Vermont in the middle of winter. We are 3 hours north of Massachusetts. There was no way I was leaving her up there. I essentially resolved to drive us back to my place where her car was, and if she wanted to throw bitter vitriol at me the entire time, I could take it. At this point, I really wanted her out of my car and out of my life. Pull over at the gas station. I'm fucking serious. I don't even want to fucking spend one more fucking minute with you. Fucking piece of shit asshole. Who the fuck do you think you are, you fucking piece of shit? Bring me to a gas station, goddammit. I don't want to spend another minute with you, you fucking disgusting thing. Let me just take you back to your car. Then we can just, fuck you, drop me off at the fucking gas station right now. By this time, we were driving through a small town. There was a red light before me, so I had to stop. When I did, Willa opened her door, grabbed her bag, and took off down the sidewalk. When the light turned green, I pulled over in the first parking spot I found, turned the car off, and searched for her up and down the street. I would have just fucking
I'd be like, you wanted out,
driven
you
off.
got out of the car.
Yep. I didn't find her, so I hopped back in my car and called her phone. Ring, ring. On this seat next to me, her phone rang. In her haste to leave, Willa's phone had fallen out of her pocket. I had no way to reach her or find her where she was. I scrolled through her phone contacts, found her father's number. I had met her father before. He was a good guy. And called him up to explain the situation to him and let him know I was likely going to have to leave his daughter stuck in the middle of Vermont in the winter with no plausible way to make it home. Please, please, please don't leave her there, he implored. She has to eventually figure out that the only way she's going to get home is with you. Just stay in your car and wait for her to come back and try to get her to see reason, please. I liked her father, and he had always been nice to me. He lived a couple of states away, so I really was Willa's one and only shot at making it home. I took his advice and waited for her to return. Sure enough, Willa came back. I asked her, "Will you ride back to Boston with me? We'll just go straight there and I'll bring you to your car." Give me my fucking phone, you fucking piece of shit, was Willa's response. I gave her her phone, and she stormed down to an Amtrak station that was close by. The whole time I tried to introduce some reason into her life. Willa, please come back with me. We'll go straight to your car. We won't stop. Just let's go. Go fuck yourself, was her reply. A train came through shortly thereafter, and Willa jumped onto it with her bag. She asked the conductor, "Is this the train going to Boston?" The conductor replied, "It's going through Springfield, which is not at all near Boston." Willa stepped off the train, and the train chugged on. She then took out her phone, called a couple of friends, and commanded them come pick her up in Vermont. From what I could hear, they said, "Why don't you just ride back to Boston with Jared?" She hung up on them and called her father. "Dad, come pick me up in Vermont."
Nope.
Her father said, "Jared called to tell me what's going on. You need to stop behaving this way right now and get back in the car with him." Willa laughed and said, "Jared called you? Of course he did. Of course Jared fucking called you." She hung up on her father, turned to me and said, "You need to get the fuck out of here before I call the police and tell them you're stalking me." I would not have made it.
She's
that
at an
far.
Amtrak station.
Yeah.
That means she's got power. She's got water.
phone.
She's got
Yep.
heat.
This
and
guy's
her
too
phone.
nice. He's fucking too nice.
Yeah.
That's his problem.
Oh.
At that, I returned to my car, called her father, and said, "I'm done here. She's clearly unhinged, and I don't really want to be part of this anymore." Her father said, "Please don't leave her there. I know she can be difficult, but please don't leave her up there. She'll have to eventually figure out that you're her only way out of this situation. Just go somewhere and grab a bite to eat, and she'll eventually come around. She has to. I promise. Or please. She'll have to. Please."
No.
This fucking guy.
She's got her own money. She's
Guess
a grown
what?
ass woman. She can find
The
her
story's
way home.
not over because this
Oh.
fucking guy says, "Ugh. Okay. You win." Fucking dumbass.
Poor dude probably has a police record now.
Then her text came.
Oh.
"Okay, fine. Hooray, I win." I went out to my car and there she was. She said, "I'll ride back with you, but you have to understand that you can't go telling people that they stress you out. That's not cool, and I won't take that sort of shit." I mean, I would never be like, "You're stressing me out."
I would look at her again the next day and be like, "You're making me very anxious."
It dawned on me that she was completely remorseless. Indeed, in her mind, I and I alone was apparently to blame for the day's unfortunate festivities. It occurred to me in the same instant that if I wanted to finish things as neatly as possible, it would be necessary for me to placate her and acquiesce completely. "You're right," I lied. "I'm sorry. It was a stupid thing for me to say in the first place." She nodded. "Good. Now we can go." I was pretty sure that if I did anything on the way back to raise ire, even in the slightest, she'd jump out of my car, even if I was going 70 on the highway. Placate, placate, placate. Just get her back to her car and, she said, "I forgive you for talking to me like that, even though you tried to ruin our day. I think we should still go for a hike."
Nope.
I replied, "No, that's okay. Let me just bring you back to your car, and I really want to go on a hike." "No, we really don't. I want to go." "Okay." What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I'd pick this story by random, by the way.
So you were just as surprised
Yeah.
as we are.
Even
Okay.
though I think I've read this before, just like on my own time. We went southeast and crossed into New Hampshire. We found a snowy mountain and went on our little hike. The whole time I pretended that everything was okay and that I was truly sorry for the horrible way I had purposely treated her. And then I let her suck my... No, I'm kidding. I would have been like, "Hey, you...
I was like, wait a minute, there's our
you
sex.
wanna,
Like,
there's
oh,
a
yeah.
there's a log over there we can like before." But he didn't, I don't think. Okay.
I'm waiting for him to be like, and then she fell down a hill, and I ran to my car as fast as I can. I left her there. I still haven't seen her to this day. Like,
We finally arrived back in Boston and I parked. "Have a safe drive back home," I told her. She said, "I want to spend the night. I'm exhausted." Fine. We went right up to bed.
she's gonna up her.
And in the
dick
morning,
or
I walked her to her car and she said, "I'll see you soon, right?" "Of course you will." She drove back to her home, and I blocked her on Facebook. She likely was quick to realize that I was cutting her out of my life, and she wrote me a final email which she actually apologized for her behavior. That was nice. I didn't respond. There are those who say I should have left her in Vermont. There are those who say I should have stuck it to her more firmly. To them, I'd say that a life without me is verily the very worst nightmare I can inflict upon anyone. Yeah.
Nah, I left that bitch, dude. She's a
Oh,
grown
yeah,
ass
for
woman.
sure.
She figure her shit out.
Or I would have been an opportunist and, like, had sexual favors on the way and, like, you know, while she thinks. I mean, that's fucked up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not.
She's a dumb fucking cunt, man. She's
like, oh, it's okay.
Listen, she's that one that's like, oh, they tried to rape me because they tried to kiss her.
Yeah.
Like, and
I'm gonna
just
hold your
no.
hand. And she's like, oh, don't touch me. Get the fuck away, dude.
I don't consent.
Did you hear about that chick who tried to sue the person who gave her CPR after she drowned because he non-consensually touched her or whatever?
Oh, yeah. There's good Samaritan laws and stuff like that.
It's fucking
Yeah,
long.
there's
I have a few more stories, but they're not nearly as long. We're going to Reddit now. That was on a website called A Bad Case of the Dates. I can't remember if I said it before.
yeah.
It's
May as
by
well say it again.
a guy named JMG, and it was in 2017.
Thank you, JMG.
Which is probably why they couldn't find the entrance, because now you just have even though sometimes
Yeah.
GPS gets a little wonky.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, that's another reason I like when I drive when we're in cities, because the cities are always
Mhm.
like really accurate now. So finding parking and stuff is a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is by Deleted. I dated this girl in high school. We were dating for about 3 months when I went over super excited because I got accepted into the college I had wanted to attend since I was like 7. A couple weeks later, she called me saying we needed to talk. When I go over, I found out she has been rejected from every college she applied to, save the community college nearby. Still no clue why. She was taking 2 language classes and had 3 AP classes. Anyways, she said instead of going to a stupid community college, she and I were going to move to Florida. We lived in New England. To live with her grandmother, and we can try to apply for colleges down there. I said I wasn't moving to Florida after dating only a few months, and she said I had to choose her or my dream college.
Our dream college.
I choose college.
Yeah.
Like, audacity.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Fuck
gonna
that
do
bitch.
this.
2 months.
You're gonna, yep.
2
3
months
months.
in
3
high
months.
school.
3 months.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3 months in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 semester.
This is by Suprap on Reddit. Girl came up to me from behind while I was wearing a jacket and told me she liked my shirt. She seemed nice enough, just nervous, and honestly, she was good looking, so I brushed it off. At the end of the day, we exchanged numbers and got to talking later. 30 minutes later, we're texting and she asks me to be her boyfriend. I'm like, sure, totally, but then it got real bad. She starts sending me videos of her singing. She was not a good singer. After each video, she'd ask me, do you think I'm cute? Do you like it? Etc. I sort of awkwardly just passively nodded along and hoped to chalk it up to nerves. Then when the videos started to ask me, do you love me? Multiple times. It was getting bad, so I decided to jump ship and break off the relationship that had only just started less than an hour ago. She took it semi-decently. The next day, I found out she'd been bouncing around trying to date really any guy who would reciprocate. After her craziness got around enough, no one would, so she moved away and jumped in front of a car. She didn't die, though. She's just crazy. It was wild.
Oh my god.
That tracks. You know,
Jumps in front of a car.
That's what was always fun in school was the new kid. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you always thought like, well, is it gonna be weird? Where are you gonna fit in? Ugh.
Yeah, man. All right, we'll find one more of these and then.
I had a
Alright.
foreign nude kid once.
You had a foreign nude kid once?
That's what it sounded like. You said.
A
It sounded
foreign
like
nude kid.
It sounded
New
like you said
kid.
nude.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Muhammad.
Oh yeah. Did he do anything creepy or anything?
No, he was
Then I
super
don't
cute.
give a fuck.
He was nice.
Wow! Congratulations.
He said my name right the first time. Fuck you.
Wow, that's impressive.
Mark. Mark.
You sound like a fucking toad.
He also knew what my name meant.
Yeah, well, it's Hebrew, isn't it?
Arabic, yeah.
Arabic. Okay.
And he was from
whatever.
Pakistan.
Same thing. No, it's not. I know it's not. Please don't kill me, anybody. All right, this is by Handsies on Reddit.
Handsies?
Yes, that's Handsies. They
Got
give
a case of
handsies.
The handsies.
Oh,
They give lots of handsies.
lots of hands.
I had a Tinder date where he showed up an hour late and drunk. He also had a lot more facial features and was a lot older than I thought. He tried to show me his shitty pop punk band and get me to go home with him. No, just no. It was awful. Another time when I was on a first date to the zoo from Tinder, and I go in the petting zoo, the dude kind of stands outside looking nervous. I ask why he won't pet goats with me, and he says he always gets attacked. I convince him to come inside, and no joke, every goat is attacking him within minutes.
Here's your
I felt
sign.
so bad. He told me to run while the goats were going ham on him. It was awkward for the rest of the day.
That's funny.
That
That's
is.
a good one.
Aw.
Because you know how people don't like. Okay, like
He's
a
like,
girl,
no, for real.
Like, oh yeah.
She's like,
if a girl-
no, it's fine.
Oh my
But
God.
he still was like, run for it
Yeah,
while they're
like,
chasing
that's a
him.
nice
like,
guy.
That's,
That's
such
a nice
sweet guy.
guy.
Like,
I feel bad for him.
Yeah, man. Why the goats hate him so much?
Well,
they're
like-
just assholes.
Right.
They are assholes.
Because like I've heard of girls saying like, "Oh, my dog didn't like him, so I
Uh-huh.
knew it was gonna be bad." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense." But like, yeah, trusting your dog's instinct, but trusting it. What the fuck did he do to the goats?
Fuck if.
I think of that episode of Rick and Morty where Morty starts talking to the squirrels. And he's like, "You talked to the fucking squirrels, Morty. Now we have to find a whole new universe. I told you we can only do this a couple times." Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly what, like that dude fucked with the goats, and he's like, "I just gotta
So-
stay away from him, I guess."
Am I an asshole because my best friend when I was like 3 or 4 was a goat? It would like go. It would chew through its rope and come and play with me in my yard. My mom told me that.
But it never did anything to you. Like it didn't like chew your
It would
toys up,
like
but
butt
you were okay with it?
headbutts and stuff.
It would
But no, it
headbutt
was
you. That makes a
affectionate
lot of
towards
sense.
me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Never mind. Like I just got a visual, and oh, Mark,
So not all first dates are funny. Sometimes they end like
how was
real
the
bad.
first date with
Like-
your goat?
Real bad. It ended real bad. No. Some of them they end pretty badly. All right. So these are more like news articles because, well, you'll see. In September 2014, 53-year-old Washingtonian Leon Shaw went on a first date with a woman in his Seattle town. The two drank heavily on their romantic romp, and the unnamed woman decided she wanted a tattoo. To appease, Shaw took his date to a professional artist. The woman and the tattoo artist started to engage in intimacies, though, and Shaw grew angry. Allegedly, he slapped his date. In retaliation, the woman left the shop, stole Shaw's car. The man chased her, but he was struck with the vehicle and killed. After she crashed the car, the woman was taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition.
Jeez, oh day.
Jesus. What?
So she's getting all
intimacies?
horny with this fucking tattoo artist. So, you know, I mean, he probably shouldn't have slapped her, but he was understandably upset. So she steals his car and runs him over. First date. First fucking date.
I don't know. It sounds like it sounds like the kind of date a lot of people pay for nowadays.
Yeah, maybe.
Like that. It sounds like a tailored experience.
This happened in Spring, Texas.
Texas.
A Texas man is facing charges after authorities say he kidnapped, tortured, and sexually assaulted a woman he met on a dating app. Zachary Mills, 21, has been charged with a first-degree felony of aggravated kidnapping. His neighbors had a lot to say about the jarring allegations against him that detail the reported kidnapping beginning on Christmas Eve and spanning 5 days. People are crazy, neighbor Kayana Archer said. It's pretty scary with the dating world only being mostly online. According to court documents, the victim met Mills on the Bumble dating app and agreed to visit him on Christmas Eve at his apartment home in Spring, Texas. When she got there, he allegedly tried to have sex with her and she refused. Records show Mills then started punching, slapping, and biting her. He's also accused of raping her and hitting her with a screwdriver when his hands got tired. Officials believe Mills deprived the victim of food and water for the 5 days he allegedly held her captive. The documents go on to say the victim was finally able to escape and get help when Mills left Thursday to go to his father's house. Investigators say she suffered severe bruising to both eyes, bite marks, cuts to both her throat and nose, and severe bruising to the majority of her body. Mills was arrested Friday. He has since been released from jail after posting a $50,000 bond, but is out on a 24-hour house arrest, other than essential travel, according to his attorney. He is set to be arraigned on the aggravated kidnapping charge in March and could face charges. A Bumble representative said in a statement that Mills has been blocked from the app. The company also offered 7 tips for safe dating that include always meeting in a public place, telling someone you trust where you're going, and researching the person you're meeting as much as possible.
No shit. Like,
yep.
Yeah, I'll go to your house. Nah, bro.
Yep. I mean, I've had those types of dates, though, where, like, I went there, or they came to my house. But, I mean, the only one I had was that one crazy chick, because I assaulted her by
Yeah,
biting.
but did you do any further research on them? Like, you didn't, like...
Oh, yeah,
Facebook
absolutely.
Or, yeah.
Before I even, like, bring it to a different app, when I used to use dating apps, I would always, like, know as much as you could know online about that person.
No, you, like...
I could be like a private
stalk 'em,
investigator,
like,
man. Like, it's crazy the shit I can find online.
Like, especially the rap sheets, man. Like, it's so hard. It's not so hard. Like, you just look up.
Yep.
If you have their name, you can look up what they've been arrested for or gotten tickets for. It's very easy. Like, check your shit.
So that was like 100%, right? It was like,
no, yeah, death is 100%.
Okay,
right?
well,
I would assume
that. All right, that's fair.
it's like 9.
Well,
that's
this
like
one,
99 because she could have died.
This one's worse. It's scary.
Jeffrey,
it's
Dahmer
crazy
shit.
that this shit can fucking happen. This happened in Florida.
Oh, jeez. Like, we're surprised.
A Florida man was looking for love when he signed up for a popular dating site, but instead was lured to his death. Police say Monday, August 22nd.
Oh.
Adam Hillary, 27 of Auburndale, was found shot to death at his apartment Friday, August 19th. Police say the single father had arranged a date last Thursday with 18-year-old Haley Rose Bustos, who he met on the online dating site Plenty of Fish.
I knew it. The second you said popular dating, I was like, Plenty of Fish. It's definitely Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of Fish was definitely a fucking interesting one. The pair went bowling, according to the Orlando Sentinel, and Bustos texted him afterwards saying, "I had a good time and would like to see you again." They arranged to see each other the next night, but police say Bustos brought 3 other men to Hillary's apartment to rob him instead. During the robbery, one of the men allegedly shot him in the head. Hillary was begging for his life. He was not putting up any kind of fight and was telling them that he had a 5-year-old daughter, according to the arrest reports. Police say Bustos paid $50 to go on the dating site with the intent to set the man up for a robbery, but it ultimately ended in his death. Once she got home, they talked together. They worked out the details. Then he went back. They worked out the details and then went back and committed the murder. Auburndale Police Deputy Chief Andy Ray said, "I think the plan was that he got robbed and they take his stuff." Bustos, 18 of Auburndale, Andre Warner of Auburndale, Gary Terrell Gray of Lakeland, and Joshua Ellington of Lake Alfred were arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit murder, robbery with a firearm, deadly weapon, and first-degree murder. I also read that the guy who pulled the trigger, they like put him up for like death penalty.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's Florida.
Fucking executing somebody.
I mean,
Yeah.
luckily, like a lot of dates end up, being like kind of humorous later, but like sometimes it's not,
Yeah,
and it's crazy. It's scary, and like it is the truth that like nowadays you can a lot of times people are finding people online, because
I have a friend whose older sister married a guy that she met on Plenty of Fish.
and it can be
worked out
good.
fine.
It can be a good thing.
yeah.
It can, for some people it works out, but then you have a lot of assholes out there, people who aren't honest and shit like that. Like
people that are.
first of all, though, this guy, he was going for an 18-year-old, and he was like in his 30s, I think. 27, going for an 18-year-old. Come on, man. You
Or
really
was
think
she
that
going
girl?
after him?
Well, that's
'cause
true.
She was going
Well,
for
they
the
created
that was the
an-
I mean, he's
appeal.
got a
How many
5-year-old,
people did they
like,
do that to? Like, how many people? I've heard stories
she's-
just like
she's
this.
a honeypot. That's a bait.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a bait.
it's like a thing. It's like something
laugh.
people
No,
actually
no,
do.
hold on. I thought of the interview.
Oh, because I said
I
honey.
got honey dicked. You honey dicked me. Where are those glasses? Like, I'm sorry. That
Any
movie was
thoughts?
good.
Anything to add?
No,
That's
she was.
scary
I mean,
shit.
she specifically was on that app. They were on that app, so
Yeah,
he was
for-
definitely targeted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, him replying to an 18-year-old who is legal,
Mhm.
who is aggressively pursuing him, I bet,
Yeah.
like, if the chat log was released,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
she
Oh, yeah.
was probably the
Oh, yeah, I'm
aggressor,
sure.
the, oh, you're so cute, oh, yeah, whatever, age is just a number,
Uh-huh.
oh, I love kids, like, stuff like that.
Yeah, I bet she
He
hardcore
just
baited
fell
him
for it.
like
Oh,
like,
that.
yeah,
he
for sure.
definitely, like,
Well,
he's
yeah.
clearly got to be lonely.
Oh,
If
yeah.
he just separated from the baby's
Mhm.
mom or
Whatever.
something like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
A 5-year-old, that's definitely like, depending on when they separated. he
Yeah.
There's
was
probably a lot
definitely-
of factors in that make
Oh,
it
yeah,
fucking
I'm
like
sure.
I'm not
heart-wrenching.
not calling him like a creep or a molester or
Yeah.
anything like that, because I'm betting he was just taking advantage of it, a vulnerable moment.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
That's true.
Because that's like, I'm gonna defend men 100%, because there are so many times that the women are the aggressors.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it
then
can
just
go both
because
ways,
they're
though.
younger, they're like, oh, that
Yeah.
guy's a piece of shit because this person's so much
Mhm.
younger than them, and it's
Uh-huh.
like they.
But then
they
they're
went after
led
him,
up,
and
like,
he just
yeah.
reciprocated the feelings. That's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
That's not his.
I mean, I
fault.
guess that did kind of sound like an asshole. Come on.
I
I
mean-
wouldn't go for somebody. It'd be if I were. I didn't go for people that young when I was. Once I hit a certain age, I'm like, like I don't know. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. When you're 18, you're dumb as fuck.
Dating's weird in general.
Dating is
Like,
weird
just
in general.
in general.
I have one more honorable mention thing, I guess. And it's I don't really remember the story really well, but it was a cop. It was a new cop, and he went on a date with a girl or whatever, and she wanted to go hiking, and they went out in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? And then this dude in a van keeps showing up, and like the first time they were like, "Oh, we're looking at the stars," and he's like, "Okay," and then he drives off, and then he suddenly returns. And then she starts acting weird. And then, like, he pulls his gun. And he's like, police. And he called his fucking people. And, like, they just disappeared. In the van, they found, like, stuff. It was a stolen van. And they found, like, rope. And, like, guns. And, like, stuff to, like, take,
They were
like,
gonna,
yeah,
yep, they were
just
planning
like
on
that.
doing something.
Wait.
Crazy shit.
So she was on a date with a cop,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
and they were gonna take
She was setting him up.
the cop. Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
I was just making sure I understood.
I think I read it on Reddit. I can't really remember where, like, but yeah, that one always kind of stuck with me. I'm just like, God, Like, there's so many stories like that, that same one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're running a little long now. I'm not totally sure. So we can.
I like that you eked out a couple of bad dating stories out of us, because I was like, I don't really have any, but I mean,
Everybody
I guess we
has
can
them.
bitch about a couple.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't
you
like
how
it.
I baited you to.
I don't like it when mommy and daddy fight. It
Mhm.
scares me.
It scares.
We don't really fight. It was never really a fight. It was just
We're
like
just
I
aggressive
asked
about
you
our
to get the
positions on
bag.
things.
I was scared.
It's cause so the way I kind of
You made me have flashbacks.
flashback. We're way nicer than your mom and
Driving
stepdad
home
are to each
with-
other when they drive.
No, driving home with this drunk, crazy bitch covered in mud. She was still covered in mud in her car, too, so.
I would have been.
I didn't have to clean it. I don't know why I didn't check out on that shit.
See, I never, back when we did concerts and stuff a lot, I never really came and went with whoever I should have been coming and going with. Like, I'd always find somebody else and be like, hey, can I come with
home?
you? Can I come home with you? Like, that'd be cool. Then we could go there and hang out and do that. And like, there was always something else to do. I was like, yes. So
You're
there's
too
always something else
extroverted,
going
sir.
on. Huh?
You're too extra.
No. It was definitely introverted because I was very selective on who I would do that
I'm
with.
kind of introverted, Nick.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're
think
more
I'm
extroverted than
I
me.
think that too.
A lot more extroverted.
Because
than
like I wouldn't just go with like, oh, come on with a party with us, because I wouldn't want to be bold and then shot. You know?
Fair enough.
Yeah. See, but like I would go with other friends, and then be like, all right, sweet.
I mean, I never really did concerts. I mean, I did Mr. Small's concerts.
Mm-hmm.
I never really did the
I went
big
to like
stadium.
Mayhem or like.
Yeah, I never did stadiums. Like the first, like the last Warped Tour that ever happened was the first time I ever went to like something like that. I went to 50 Cent. I went to Backstreet Boys.
Oh.
But like that was it. Listen, 50
That's
Cent was
cute.
my first concert, and I was like, I was younger than Ella, and like my friend's mom got tickets.
Go,
and she was like-
shawty, it's your birthday.
And
No.
they were like, mind you, they lived in the projects and stuff, right? And they were like, we got an extra ticket. Do you want to come? My mom was like, yeah, no, you can go, whatever. I went to a 50 Cent concert. I didn't know where it was. I didn't know anything. I just was like, oh, cool.
There was
And they were,
there
looking
was
back,
a
it's not
Snoop
good.
Dogg and Linkin Park concert I regret not going to.
My first concert was Sugar Ray.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
And then what? And then like I partied in the city. Like that counts. But
My
like,
second was a hardcore industrial band called KMFDM. There were a lot of like real, like you've seen the like the video where like I saw the like crazy cyber goths or like dancing to, you know
Like
what I'm talking
that,
about,
under
right?
the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so it was like a building filled with those and like my 14-year-old self
I
and
went
like
to.
my friend.
Do you
That's
remember
weird.
Anti-Flag?
Yeah.
So I went to one of their concerts at Mr. Small's, and it was fantastic. I did Set Your Goals. And,
Anti-Flag, their members, some of their members are kind of like scumbags.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the concert that I got fucking elbowed in the eye. Do you remember hardcore mosh pitting?
Yeah.
Where they would fillet?
Oh yeah, man.
I got elbowed in the fucking eye, lost the contact.
Why are you in the pit?
Yeah.
Because I was in the pit.
Why were you in the pit?
Moshing's just moshing. This
Why were you in the pit?
motherfucker elbowed me
Nah.
in the fucking eye. And I lost the contact, okay? And then I had a stranger pull me out of the pit. Because mind you, like, I got elbowed in the fucking nose and eye.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm, like, in agony. Like, oh, shit,
I
can't
have
move.
a story for that.
And,
Me too.
and this dude comes up, pulls me out of the pit. And he's like, stay here. And then he jumps back in the pit and he punches this dude in the fucking spine. Like, because this kid kept, it wasn't just me. Like, he was
aiming
hitting
at
everyone.
people, not just dancing.
He was
yeah.
hitting everyone, kicking them, like, and like that's not how you mosh.
Mm-mm.
And
Yeah.
so this dude pulled me out, sat down, said, "Stay here." I'm like this, and I see this dude just full force wail on this dude's tailbone, and this dude just goes, "Ugh," and then he's just on the floor in the mosh pit, and then this guy just walks off, and he's like, "Go that way," and I was like, "Okay." And he just kind of like led me toward the outer edge and stuff, got me water bottle, and then disappeared, and I was like, "Okay."
man.
I was like, that was an experience.
So for me, you guys, at least you guys know, I used to be in like a hardcore punk band.
Mm-hmm.
We used to play at this place called the Sandbox down in Rochester, and it was over by the Blue Violet.
Okay, I Blue Violet all the time.
Wetzel, like the karate instructor, it was his building, and he was the one who ran it. And so we were in a hardcore punk band, and there are definitely mosh pits. And I guess that was okay, but one of the guys punched actually our friend Rickaball's brother in the face like 4 times because he was being an asshole. And he had blood like pouring down his face, and we're like on the stage like laughing about it. And then we got blacklisted for some reason.
Oh God. Yeah.
He's like, you guys don't ever fucking come here again. We got blacklisted from a church school too. That was fun.
Yeah. And you didn't have to throw shit at the crowd either.
No.
See?
We just played aggressive music.
G.G. Allen. Mm-hmm.
What a crazy motherfucker. So you said you had a story?
I do. So I was at a Fall Out Boy concert in Ohio once.
That has a mosh pit?
No, this isn't a mosh pit.
I was
going to say. A funny story. So I was like, the girl I was with was like right here behind me, and I'm just standing there, right? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like the sea just parts, and I saw this girl. I think, like, she just looked like the physical embodiment of what you would want to fight through like crowds of Spartan soldiers, right? Like, oh, that animal there, we're gonna armor it up and we're gonna run into the crowd. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like what's his name? Timon from Lion King.
Yeah.
Pumbaa.
She comes barreling through. Well, the thing is this potato-sized bitch, she ran into me with so much force, but I'm one of those, like, I didn't see her coming or anything, but I'm just ready to like get bumped into a lot.
Yeah, you have a good footing.
Oh yeah, I had a really good footing. I knew that the girl I was with was right here, and the crowd's like all right here. This bitch bounced off me like a fucking pinball when it hits the fucking bounce, when it hits the bumper.
Yeah,
she went bing, and then down right here. And you know what it looked like when she was down on the ground?
What?
It looked like the part of the very first Jurassic Park movie where they come across the dinosaur that ate the bad stuff, and they're like laying on it and it's just breathing.
Yeah,
like that's what she looked like. She was so mad, and I was so sorry because I was like, I'm sorry that you only weigh 230 pounds and I weigh 330 pounds, and
funny.
You weren't compensating for that 100 pounds. Because she was. The thing is she ran through the crowd like that because she was like pissed off that people wouldn't get out of her way. Well, I'm sorry, but like when you drive a dually to a Prius meet, you're gonna have a problem with parking. Yeah. I'm kidding. She wasn't like that big, but like she was one of them hefty girls. She's definitely like other like European countries would refer to her as sturdy.
Yeah. Good working stock.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like she's like the Iron Curtain kind of woman that you want at home cooking potatoes and stuff. Because she clearly
in Mother Russia
knows how to find them.
I have one real quick thing, and then
it's Pumbaa, not Timon.
Pumbaa. I'm sorry, Timon and Pumbaa.
This is Timon.
That's Timon, and then Pumbaa. Yeah. Oops, I fucked that one up.
By the way, just so everybody knows, Nick dropped the ball on Taco Cam this episode.
No, I didn't.
You got some?
I got a couple shots of him being all
I retract my statement.
I didn't drop the ball.
So
I might have double dribbled. I double dribbled the ball.
This is just a real quick. So I went to this concert with this girl, and she has like real bad anger problems, and she snapped the fuck out because people were touching her.
Oh, yeah.
Like snapped the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to disappear. Like
I'm
I'm just sitting there like Cartman fucking inching across naked.
I mean, like if you don't want to be touched, then be all the way to the back.
Yeah, but she wanted to be close.
Oh,
then you're gonna get touched if they're not assigned seats, you dumb cunt.
I guess that was a bad first date too.
Dude, here's your sign, Marco. God damn.
Well, listen, I have seen the error of my ways, and the person I am with now is a wonderful, beautiful soul and is very
that
patient.
will clearly fucking leave you
She beats
if
me.
she catches you
sometimes.
sniffing your own shit.
Well, she didn't leave him, so
Well, no, but I'm saying that she should now.
when she's mad, she beats me.
When she's mad, she beats you.
Yes.
Like this.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
you probably need it
Yes.
because
I
you're
need-
probably the reason
I
she's
need
mad because you did
Somebody
something
to
stupid.
kind of help my craziness. Listen, I have ADHD, okay? It's not entirely my fault.
I'm shocked. I didn't know.
I know. Wow.
We should just make the whole fucking series about that, about how Mark has ADHD.
PSA announcements.
PSA
hotlines.
announcement. The rest of the season is all gonna be.
This is Youth Pastor Mark speaking, and I want to talk to you about celibacy.
in his inner monologue. Just wants to lick the
Also,
pizza
though,
bottle.
we have a Patreon.
We have a Patreon.
Yeah, it's kind of there. You
I-
know, we do some extra stuff on there a little bit.
Yeah.
Extra early stuff.
I was
For
thinking.
a low price of $1,300.
Oh yeah.
And 47
Yeah. Right.
cents.
Oh my
Hand-
gosh.
Can't
Nick
forget the tax.
Anybody who wants to pay $1,300 for a Patreon,
Nick will
I'll do
personally
something
come
cool for you.
and jack
I
you
will
off.
find not
You just
that.
said you would do something.
Not that.
Mm-mm.
Not that.
You gotta take one for the
Does it
team.
feel
I'm
like
just saying,
sometimes,
you make a
Nick.
100?
$1,300 tier, we're gonna fucking deliver.
You have to. You have to.
It'll definitely be over delivered.
It won't be a hand job from me. Maybe Mark's volunteering himself. I'm not really sure if he's like projecting. That's the word. Projecting.
I just-
yeah.
The one I gotta say one more thing. I mean, like, you know, join our Patreon. If not, that's fine. We'll still put our stuff out.
And
you know.
nobody's taken me up on the butthole card yet either.
Videos may take a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Videos are fun.
It's
though.
it takes a long time to edit that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, long time. But anyways, I was gonna say something, and now I forgot.
So was I.
It's the end.
It's the end.
It is.
Mhm.
It's not the end.
It's gonna be a
It's the end
long
of
one, I
this
think.
episode.
But
I wanted to push
I'm
I wanted
having fun.
We gotta go, man. Cameras say
No.
it's time to cut.
but see, the thing is
Fuck
like,
the camera.
what if we did like, you know, like the end of Titanic? I just want to see the outtake of if they would have just, why the fuck did you do that, you old bit? No, I'm kidding. Pushed her off the side.
Go get it. Well, this is Mark,
And this is Nick.
And I'm Z.
and this is the Guns and Gory podcast.
Huh?
Why aren't you?
Youth Pastor Mark.
What?
Youth Pastor Mark.
Talk to
I'm here. I don't understand either, guys. Sorry.
And this is Nick.
And this is Youth Pastor Mark.
Well, you put the glasses on too quick.
Oh. This is Youth Pastor Mark,
And this is Nick.
Fat Nick,
And I'm
Fat Nick.
Z.
and this is the Guns and Gory podcast. Okay.
Probably.
Oh.
Ah.
Well, hello. This is Z, and you guys have been listening to the Guns and Gory podcast. Written and produced by Mark Hodge and Nick Parrish. Audio engineering by Mark Hodge. Recorded in Fat Boy Studios via Sir Nicky's Love Castle. Media manager is me, Z. We'd like to thank all of our friends and family for the amazing support and all of you awesome people listening in. Please join our Patreon for fun extras and behind the scenes with the guys. You can find us at patreon.com/gunsandgory. That is guns, ANDGORY. You can also find us on the Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube at Guns and Gory. Thank you so much for listening, and please comment, like, share, subscribe, have a few carrier pigeons. We'll take them all.